Good afternoon, everyone. Today on our menu is going to be a smoked chicken risotto that we are going to do. It's another one of our favorites here, and I'm excited because I haven't made this one in a while. So to begin with, we just want to get our chicken ready to go. I know this looks like a lot. I would normally use probably 2 of these for our family. I am making some extra though for some neighbors of ours that are dealing with some medical issues at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 4. I thought out all 4, so might as well. If you can get your chicken breast with the skin on, great. Doesn't have to be. If you can get them boneless skin on, that's great. I don't have that. Mine are on the bone. Totally fine. Either way, you're going to be taking all that meat off the bone. So however you want to do it, works. So all we're going to do is take some brown sugar. I have about 4 tablespoons, so about 1 tablespoon per chicken breast in here. Some black pepper. Okay. And some kosher salt that we're going to add to that. And I'm going to mix this together. And then we are going to take this and just rub it. I'm going to rub it under the skin and on top. And then at this point, we're going to let these sit. You can throw them in your fridge. You can do them the night before, throw them in your fridge overnight. Let them sit at least a couple hours. It's kind of up to you on what you'd like to do. So we'll get these rubbed down. And then I am going to go over a couple different smoking techniques that you can do. If you're not familiar with it, some of you may be, so just smoke it how you normally would smoke any of the meats. Okay, so we're going to rub these down. We are going to be doing these today in our electric smoker that we have, and we are going to do it with hickory wood. It gives a nice, good smoky flavor. Mesquite works as well. And the idea is when you put this smoked chicken into the risotto, it really flavors the entire dish. Oh, get that skin peeled up there. So we'll get it underneath first, and then we'll get some all over the top. So you can do it in an electric smoker. If you have, we sometimes do, in fact, a lot of our smoking just on our Weber grill over indirect heat. Some on the outside here. And or you can do it if you have, there we go. If you have a gas grill, you can do that as well. I know that they sell actual boxes, like metal boxes, cast iron boxes that you can put smoked chips into and put it on the grill. Or you can even do your smoked chips in like a foil packet and set it over the hot part of the grill. Again, you want to do indirect heat when we go to do these. All right, so just get it all over. Again, normally 2 of these would be enough, although if you have extra, and you want to smoke it up and then freeze it for another dish. You can slice it and make sandwiches, whatever you want. Might as well take advantage of the fact that you're putting the time in. Okay, so these are kind of ready to go. Again, you could just pop them in your fridge for the couple hours until you're ready to get them going. Okay, all right, so we're gonna head outside. I'm just gonna do a quick tutorial, if you will, on the Weber grill on how you would get it set up and ready to go for smoking your chicken. Okay, so if you were going to be doing your chicken on the grill, how I would do it on our Weber grill, obviously, is I'd pull this away from the house to start with. We would do charcoal on one side. So we actually have like one of the holders. If you have one of those, great. Get your charcoal going in here. Get your grate on there. If you happen to have, there we go. If you have the grate that opens like that, just position it so it's right over there so it's easy to add your smoked chips to it. If not, you'll have to take your tongs or something and lift it out. So basically what you're gonna do is you'll get your charcoal going. When they're ready to go, you will take your smoked chips, and you can find smoked chips at most stores now. I think even Jewel. Definitely the hardware stores, Meijer, all of those stores have all different kinds that you can get. So when you're ready to go, this is hot, the grill's hot, charcoal already, you're gonna open that up, you're gonna throw your smoked chips on. You're then going to put your chicken breast on this side, that's your indirect heat, so it's not right over the flame. So you're gonna put your chicken here, and then when you put your lid on, you want it to ventilate out the side where the chicken's at. You want it to carry, because it'll carry that smoke right over the meat and then out this side. So, and usually 1 round of chips will smoke roughly about 30 minutes or so. You'll see that smoke coming out of here. As soon as it starts dying down, you just open it back up, throw another round on there. I would say for your chicken breasts, they're probably gonna take maybe about 2 hours. Hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the size of them. Obviously, take the temperature of them. They should be 180 if you take the temperature of them, and that's how you'll know they're done. Again, if you had a gas grill, which I don't have, you would kind of do a similar option. So you would turn your flame on one area. That's where you're going to put your basket of chips or your foil packet of chips, and then your chicken to the other side. And it's as easy as that. Hey everyone, I am back and ready to go. We're going to make our smoked chicken risotto. We have here the star of the show, our smoked chicken breasts. Steeped at these in our electric smoker. They were at about, I think, 225 degrees with hickory wood, and they smoked for about 2 hours. Took the temperature, they were at 178, pulled them off, and they've been sitting out now for about a half hour cooling off, because then we're gonna shred them up to add at the very end to our risotto. Okay, and then I already did prep for this just so I could get it going. And again, please remember, I am doubling this batch, so it's gonna make quite a bit. So for a family of 4 or 5, definitely you can cut everything in half. Either that or you can share it with family and friends or something like that. So to start, arborio rice. This is our risotto. This is an Italian rice. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a little bit of a wider grain rather than a longer grain. So I'm gonna do about 2.5 cups of that total. I have sugar snap pea pods. They are already stringless. If not, just take that top string and you just want to peel it down and get those off. And then what I did was I took them and cut each one in half on the bias, on an angle, just because it makes them look pretty. You can parboil them first if you want. I'm not going to. I like them to be a little bit crunchy in there. Plus I might just add them a little bit early so that they just cook right along in there. Otherwise, you can do them in boiling water for about a minute, take them out, strain them, put them into an ice bath right away. Here I have about 6 garlic cloves chopped up. I have about 2 medium yellow onions diced up. I have about 5 tablespoons of butter back in my pan that's already melting down. And then in the pan next to it, I warmed up some chicken stock. So in here I have about 8 cups. Again, cut it in half if you're doing half the amount. And you don't need it to be boiling, you just want it to be nice and hot as you're adding it into the risotto. So I also have a couple tablespoons of chopped parsley. I have some bay leaves. I have 4 bay leaves here. Some Parmesan cheese that we're gonna add. And then I also have just some like shaved Parmesan. It's actually a blend that I like to put just right on top at the very end. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and get our garlic and onions sweating. You're not really looking to brown them. You just want them to get that translucent kind of soft color, and then we're gonna throw our rice in. Okay, so my butter is melted. I have it over medium-high heat, heavy bottom pan here. And we're gonna go ahead and throw our onion in and our garlic. And it's gonna take a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Again, if it seems like it's starting to brown up, just turn your heat down, because we're just trying to sweat it and get it nice and soft. So we're gonna start by doing that, give it about 5 minutes or so, and then we will add our arborio rice to this. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. The onions and garlic are nice and soft in here. So we're gonna add our rice. I am gonna do 2.5 cups for this batch. 1, 2. All right, so 2.5 cups in there, and then basically you're just gonna give it a stir and get it all coated with the onions and the garlic and the butter. Okay, just stir that up for about a minute. I'm gonna throw my bay leaves in. Put those in there. Okay, and so at this point, the whole thing with risotto is you slowly add your hot liquid, and between each batch, you let it absorb into that rice before you add more. So I'm gonna do a cup at a time for this. So I'm gonna add my cup of chicken broth. And then you're just gonna stir it until it absorbs into the rice. And then we'll add another cup. So it's kind of a slow process. Okay. First cup usually absorbs pretty quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the next cup in. Okay. So usually usually this process takes approximately about 20 minutes to fully go through the broth. And basically what you're looking for is this to take on the kind of a consistency of rice. You don't want it to be super mushy, but it is going to be creamier than rice normally is. So if you're questioning it toward the end, just take a little bite of it and see, are they still super firm? Do you need to cook it a little bit longer? Do you need to add a little bit more broth? But again, I'm gonna guess this will take about 20 minutes or so. So we'll be back. All right, we're about 10 minutes in, roughly. I am about halfway through my broth here. I'm just keep on slowly adding it. I did turn my heat down. I had it at medium high. I turned it down to just under medium. I felt like it was absorbing it almost too quickly, and you want it to take its time to slowly absorb this liquid. So my guess is we still got about 10-ish more minutes to go. All right, guys, so mine took roughly about 25 minutes. I tasted it, and definitely I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to it along with the rest of the ingredients. And it's the right consistency. It's nice and creamy. The rice itself still has a little bite to it, which is what you want. You don't want it to be mush by any means. So at this point, I'm gonna throw in our pea pods. Again, I'm gonna let them go maybe for about 2 minutes in here because I did not parboil them. So I'm gonna let them cook in here a little bit extra to kind of soften them a little bit, but again, still to leave some crunch to it. I am going to definitely throw some salt and pepper in at this point. Okay. Again, always check it. The broth that I used was a low sodium, so it may look like I'm adding quite a bit of salt, but I'm not. Okay, and at this point I turned the heat down to low as we add the rest of our ingredients to it. I'm gonna go ahead and get that chicken in there. I actually wound up using only 3 of the chicken breasts because it's quite a bit of meat that came off those 3. So we're gonna get that in there and get a good stir. And again, that smoke flavor will start coming out of the chicken into the risotto. And then whatever you want to serve along with it. Tonight we're just having a green salad. Goes perfect with it. You can do other veggies or whatever you'd like. All right, so we're gonna mix that in really well. Okay. I am going to throw in our parsley. Save a little bit to put on top for garnish. I'm gonna mix in about a cup-ish of our Parmesan. That's kind of up to you if you want more or less. Same with the butter. I am gonna throw in a couple more tablespoons of butter now and fold those in. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's up to you. But it's kind of a good finisher here at the end. Oh wow, whoops. Well, throw it to the side there. Okay. Making a mess. All right, so let me get my butter in there. Like I said, I'm gonna do a couple more tablespoons in there. And at this point, I'm just gonna let it cook maybe just a couple more minutes. I'll check it for salt and pepper again, and then I'm gonna plate it up. And then over the top, you can do a little bit more fresh ground pepper. You can do shaved Parmesan if you have it. A little more parsley if you want, and you will be good to go. Enjoy.